Qantas 2125, surface wind 130 degrees at 12 knots, runway 16 right, cleared for takeoff.
103. Go! Alright, let's go. Hello, welcome everyone to today's stream. Happy Thursday. I hope you're all well. Welcome along to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. And we were planning on having some Vatsim coverage from where we are here in Germany, but unfortunately, our German friends decided to disappear off the Vatsim map just as we were loading in. So, at the moment, no Vatsim coverage, but that's okay. We've got some exciting things to try on today's stream anyway. So, if you can see that, no Vatsim coverage, sad times. Yeah, so what we're going to do today instead is, with or without Vatsim, I'll be connected and I'll have a flight plan. Hi Gail, welcome. I'll have a flight plan filed on Vatsim, so we'll give it a try, but no coverage at the moment. Gail, your throttles are you have no idea if your throttles are working because the ones in the plane aren't moving. Oh. Surely that's related to the A350 rather than the new Airbus throttles that you've got, because the Airbus throttles are just like a swap out of the plastic, right? Okay, well, let's hope that you manage to resolve that issue. Otherwise, you won't be going anywhere fast, that's for sure, with no throttles. We're going to start some peeps boarding because it's going to take a while to board on this beautiful 787-900 British Airways edition. Start the flight. Let's get some people boarding. Now, just to clarify, oh, we're ready to go already. I think I had it on instant. Hang on. And cancel flight. Let's put that back to realistic. Boarding time, there we go. Boarding time realistic, and start the flight again. 20 minutes. So we're going to be taking 240 passengers from Frankfurt to Dublin tonight, which is exciting. This heavy division 787, I should probably explain a little bit before we get started. The 787 1000 78X, as it's called, is obviously a plane in the super deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Sim that comes with that package. So that's always been there. Recently, a new modding team called Heavy Division has started, and they in the last couple of weeks gained a lot of publicity due to some of the big YouTubers covering their developments for the 787 in Microsoft Flight Sim. So obviously that brought it to my attention, and I've done a bit of digging, found their Discord, downloaded the development version of their Heavy Division 787, and we've got it installed. Now, other than just checking that, you know, it's not going to cause a crash to desktop or anything like that, I haven't really had a lot of experience with this mod, so I'm not sure how it's going to go. We'll see. It's probably a good time for me to sort of zoom in a little bit here and take a look at this aircraft. Now, what I should say is we're joined by a Gail Luder Abby in Lufthansa A350. Unfortunately, my model is a bit odd, but it's sort of getting there. It's getting there. It sort of looks vaguely accurate, but I don't know what's going on with the text here, and it's got the Boeing livery rather than the A350 livery, even though it's got the nightshade. Anyway, my aircraft is this one. Apparently it is, yes. My aircraft, this one, we have a beautiful 5. We should have the jetway connected really here, shouldn't we? So that our passengers can actually board. Otherwise they're going to be struggling a little bit. Here we go. So here we go, beautiful A350. Now the aircraft in the flight sim is a A350 1000. Now the 1000 obviously 5. That's meant for the plane. Good one. The 1000, it's actually pretty rare in the wild, right? The 787 1000. Most airlines went for the 787-900. So I filed this aircraft as a 789 just because that's what British Airways actually has. As does Qantas, as does United, American, Lufthansa, all the big airlines. There's very few 787-1000s out there at the moment. I think the difference is the 789 has a couple fewer windows at the back here. But that's fine. We can cope with a little bit of imagination, given that we are flight simmers and we are using Microsoft Flight Sim, so we should be used to making things up as we go. I think it looks pretty good. I don't really like the front of the 787. Like, it looks kind of odd to me. Just that, like, quite bulbous shape. I guess it's super streamlined, but it looks kind of icky to me. I kind of like a bit of a nose and then more of a thing like you get on the Airbuses. But this is what we got. Obviously, 2 wide bodies now. Oh, I suppose 3 wide bodies now available in Microsoft Flight Sim. So the 7478, which comes in the default version of the sim. This one, the 787-10, which comes in the super premium version of the sim. And then we've got the A330-300 from Project Megapack, which is you know, on the same level, like quite lacking in terms of stuff. Let's load up some baggage and maybe let's jump inside. So all I've done to allow our passengers to board so far is turn on batteries and turn on external power. Everything else left as default. Now, as I understand it, like, a lot of these switches are still very much not working because default Microsoft Flight Simulator plane, which is just modded with this mod. So there's going to be some stuff here which is pretty lacking, unfortunately. As you can see, my mouse doesn't change to pointy mouse for most of these switches, which makes it easy for me to start up a plane that I'm not too familiar with, but not too exciting when we want to talk about realism. What we can do is turn on a couple of lights. So let's turn on the logo and wing lights and turn on the nav light. Not quite sure. Oh, that's the anti-ice. Passenger signs. Yeah, we haven't finished fueling yet, so we won't do passenger signs. Let's start up the APU. APU starting. That's good. And let's let our passengers board. We also, let's do a meter for, where are we? Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot. There we go. So our QNH is 1005. Can we set that? We're in inches at the moment. We don't want that. We want HPA. We want to come out of standard, and then we're going to go down. Okay, 1005. We can do that. Okay. And we want to start this up. Now, touchscreen FMC. Let's see how this works out. I'm just gonna, for the sake of the stream, I'm gonna move this speed brake out of the way. Just hopefully I'll remember to put it back. Okay, there's our ident screen, all good. Position screen, position initialization. Reference airport is Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot. Bam, we're at gate Bravo 44. Bam. We've got a GPS. Let's set our IRS position and let's click next. Now, what I can do somewhere is request route. So this should download it from load flight plan from SimBrief. Let's see if this works. It's doing stuff. Cool. Loaded the flight plan in. That saves me a bit of time typing that flight plan every time. I love it when that works. Make sure this is just in the middle of the screen for you guys. The runway that we're going to be taking today. Well, we don't know for sure because of the meter, but let's say, what runways do we have at Frankfurt? We've got 25 center or 25 left. With that meter, 25 left, is it, Gail? Why can't we take 25 center? Because it's closer to me. I'm happy with 25 left. Okay. That page is done. Let's activate. Let's do our departures and arrivals. 25 left is set. All right, 25 left is good, Gail. I've got it in now. I'm set. And my departure SID. What have I done here? Briefing. My SID is a OBOC for November. Oh, it's not here. Let's OBOC for November. Here we go. 25 left. Execute. that's in. Let's take a look at this. I don't know. I think we do here. Plan. Range. Let's take a look. Okay, that's kind of the shape of our SID. Let's compare that to Nevergraph and see what the OBOC for November. OBOC for November. So here's Nevergraph. We're going kind of out on 183, then out here to 12.2 miles, and then turn right to 317. It's a very RNAV departure, isn't it? But fortunately, it looks roughly correct on the FMS. I'm happy with that. Cool. Next. Did we execute that? Let's make sure it's executed. Cool. Next, we need to do all of our performance stuff. Perf. Oh, we need to do fuel, don't we? Okay, thank you. Okay, we're fully boarded. That's good. Let's do fuel. Now, we need to do fuel from this page today because unlike the A32NX mod, we can't just load it up automatically. We have to do it manually through here. But we want to set our basically our fuel to 0, and then we want to set our empty weight plus our payload to our 0 fuel weight, which is 162.8 tons. Oh, 160. 23% maybe. Yeah, it's pretty close. 24%. Okay, 163 tons is good enough. And then we want 12.9 tons of fuel. Not very much. I suppose it's quite a short flight for there we go, 13 tons of fuel. That's good. Okay, aircraft is fueled. So now let's turn our seatbelt sign on. APU should all be good. So let's turn APU gen on and external power off. Now, given that we are on Vatsim, we should probably tune the radio. Which I'll do here. We'll go on to Unicom on Vatsim. 122.8. Whoa. We probably don't want Beethoven Symphony No. 5 to play in the background. All right. So we're boarded. Let's disconnect the jetway. Oh, let's close our cargo door first. Let's assume all of our baggage is in. I think I'm going to pop you guys on to default now. Perfect. Close the cargo door. And we'll disconnect the jetway now. Just check. There we go. It's pulling away. Now I've just noticed my speed brakes are still up from when I was doing the FMS. Cool. So fuel should be good now. Let's set the takeoff info. We're going to have a flaps 5 takeoff. which feels a bit weird to say. It's a dry runway, no slope, thrust reduction altitude 1500 feet above here, which looks about right. 1840. Our V speeds can just be set like that. Thrust limitation, we're going to derate by 10%. And we're good. Let's put our map mode back up. Nice. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but you know, not sure if I am. Let's connect this tug. And we'll put the beacon light on. Everything up here is probably good for now. I think we need to probably turn fuel pumps on. Frankfurt traffic, Speedbird 2125, radio check for anyone in vicinity.
5 by 5.
Thank you.
Lufthansa 1057, also 5 by 5.
5 by 5, Lufthansa 1037. Great. Speedbird 2125, pushing back from gate Bravo 44. We're going to start our pushback. I feel like, you know, in the A320 there would be heaps more stuff that we needed to do, but I haven't really got any more buttons to press.
Frankfurt traffic, KLM 355, intercepted ILS 25 left.
So let's just do it. Let's start the pushback. Park brake would be good. There we go. Cool. Pushing back for the first time in the 787. We're going to be a bit late on our departure, given that we've only got 1 minute and 20 seconds to take off. But that's alright. Not too stressed about that. Oh. Our flight attendant. Our flight attendant's a bit quiet, isn't she? Oh, sorry everyone. I'm gonna just do that so I can control the volume a bit better. There we go, she's better now.
In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an emergency and we need to evacuate the aircraft, there is lighting on the floor that will guide you
a little bit.
In the event of a loss of cabin pressure,
and while we're pushing, we can probably start our first engine, which is pretty easy in the 787. We just click that to start. We start the fuel flow, and we're good. Hey, Sour Mickey, thanks so much for the follow.
Kia ora, and welcome aboard this Air New Zealand
Welcome
flight.
aboard.
It's important you obey all
Hi Gail, yeah, no worries, I'll keep pushing back.
An illuminated sign.
A fashionable life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front.
That engine is coming up.
To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft.
Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 1037, pushing back from gate Bravo 45, Frankfurt.
Cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you
KLM 355 for 5 nautical miles for touchdown 25 left.
Hey, look at that pushback, man. For me, that's pretty good.
All of this information and more
Right on the line.
the safety card located in the seat back in front of you. We suggest reading this and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us.
Let's
and
keep
we hope you
pushing so
enjoy your
that
flight.
Gale can also push and get in front of me. That's good because then I can cheat and follow Gale to the runway rather than referring to taxi charts. Ha ha ha. You bought the sound pack from Mango Studios and oof. Now, hello from Cape Town. Hi, Sour Mickey. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow earlier. I hope Cape Town's treating you well today. And welcome to the stream. We're at Frankfurt in Germany, and we're flying to Dublin in Ireland. We are on Vatsim, but there's not a whole lot of air traffic control around at the moment. I feel like that's plenty of space, so we're gonna stop there and tell our tug to get lost. Get lost, mate. Now, he did a good job today. Thank you. And as those engines are coming up, we can turn our taxi lights on. On the panel here, we can turn the flight director on. We'll set our speed for 250 knots. The runway heading here at Frankfurt is abort 248 degrees.
We're prepared for takeoff.
Thank you. And now, I've forgotten what our SID was. Obok. Just check whether there's any. So on our Oboka
Yeah,
for
25 gated to 5 left.
November. There's no altitude restrictions, so we're just going to set our altitude to our cruise, which is flight level 400 today, 400. This beautiful plane can fly very high. All right, we're good to go. We have an A350 stubbornly parked in front of us, so we can't go anywhere for the minute. But that's all right. We are good to go. What I will do in the meantime is, I guess, get my cam up.
KM3 for 5, cross 25 center.
Just going to get my secondary cam up so that you guys can... You know what? It's super blurry. And by secondary cam, I mean my phone. Should be good once we're set up here. There we go. Cam's good. We need to just get it up and running. There we go. Got our cam down here. What we can do is set our flaps here. Flaps 5 departure. We can arm our speed brakes. And we'll set our auto brakes to max. Lovely picture, Gail, of your A350. Less pictures, more taxiing, man. I'm ready to go. So, from what I've read about this,
Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 1037, taxis to 25 left via November, Tango, Romeo, Tree, Frankfurt.
Frankfurt traffic, speedbird 2125, following the Lufthansa A350 via November Tango Romeo 3 for 25 left, Frankfurt. So from what I've read of this A350, just because I'm looking at Gail Luder's A350 in front of me. From what I've read of this heavy division 7879, basically flies okay, flight dynamics not too bad, fairly reliable. The autopilot needs watching, as do all the default planes on Microsoft Flight Sim. Need a careful watch as you're flying. So we'll kind of see how we go. Tildesley, welcome back. Hope you're good. I'm good, thank you. We're flying in some bigger planes today, Tildesley. This is the 787 Dreamliner in the sim. And we're taxiing out of Frankfurt at the moment. Hey, you know what? Let's get Sim Toolkit Pro up on the top. Ah, it always pops over that side, doesn't it? Annoying. So we'll connect. We'll go to flight plan from SimBrief. Fly. Stream. Let's start taxiing as well while I'm doing this. And if I refresh this, there we go. Bars at the top now, so you can see where we're coming and going from. You always overstress this plane straight after takeoff. Okay, let's hope that doesn't happen this time. The plan today is to not do any overstressing. The plan is to successfully make it to Dublin, which is decent flight. Probably like an hour and 40-minute flight time. Let's continue this taxi. I'm not so accustomed to how much
traffic, Ryanair 5 Victor Zulus, just becoming visually
yeah,
established on 25 left at 7 DME.
There we go, there's Ryanair there. 7 DME coming in about 7 miles away. I'm guessing that's him. So we'll have to let him land before we take off. So from the inside, It's a distinctly Boeing cockpit, not something that I'm particularly that fond of, if I'll be honest. Prefer the way that the Airbuses are on the inside. It's a much more pleasant place to be, in my view, anyway. But I'm sure many of you will disagree with me on that one, with the Boeing Airbus rivalry that there always is here on Flight Sim. Okay, cool. Taxi's going very nicely. I'm gonna come around this corner here. Oh, we do need to be going a bit slower than my usual A320 fast taxiing technique. You need to be a bit more careful with the bigger planes. If any of you have flown the 747 in Microsoft Flight Sim and tried taxiing that at high speed, that doesn't usually go well. Why don't I like the cockpit? It just kind of feels a bit dark and a little bit cluttered compared to an Airbus cockpit, in my view. Like, one thing that I feel about the 787, look how big this plane is. Look, I'm trying to describe while I'm taxiing, so that's not going to work very well. But look how big this plane is. Look how small the windows are realistically for the cockpit. Like, they could do with this another window just by here, just so that they get more peripheral vision and more light into the cabin. Because if I look here, like, look, bang, nothing. Whereas in an Airbus, there's an extra window back here. On top of that, like, all the black plastic, I don't really like that either. Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm old, Tilsley. Maybe I like the retro look. Why did my auto brake come off? Anyway. Did that Ryanair ever land? Oh no, here he comes. Oh, he's kind of hung in midair. Now he's disappeared. Gale, you're taking us the scenic route, I see. I would have gone that way. But that's fine. Yeah, so it's whenever I tap the brakes, the auto brake disarms itself, which is not very good because you want to kind of set it prior to taking off, really. I guess in this one you can't. Once we're up in the air, I'll go through all the systems that this heavy division has. Pretty much, like, they've started working on things, you can tell. If anyone remembers how the A32NX mod kind of started, this is going a similar way. So they're working on a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. You can tell that some of the systems are sort of slowly being added to the behind-the-scenes model. If we go systems here, you can see like there's a lot more modeled than what there is in the default aircraft. Still some in-op.
Traffic Lufthansa 1037, holding short 25 left at Romeo Tree, Frankfurt.
Still some in-op stuff, but it's a lot better than what it was. If we turn this back to navigation, we'll pause here. I'm guessing we're waiting for we're probably waiting for that. Yeah, the default aircraft have more in-op buttons than op buttons. Definitely Tilsley. Hey Gail. Not sure what happened to that Ryanair, but he's nowhere to be seen now. Let's have a look. We are... Where are we? EDFF. Yeah. Oh, there is someone coming. In a 744. Oh, here he is. Okay, I think it... this is a Delta 744.
Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 1037, lining up runway 25 left, Frankfurt.
Did I see the new Ultra craft Dana? You mean the ultralight? Yeah, I saw that. Looks interesting. Could be good for, like, you know, VFR, mountain flying, lake flying, that sort of thing. Frankfurt traffic, speedbird 2125, holding short 23 left. GTA 8483, thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. Hey, Monitor Unicom, thank you also for the follow.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of your Lufthansa crew on duty today, we would like to show you the safety features on board. We would appreciate your attention.
Let's hold here while our friend Gail Luda takes off in the A350 ahead of us. This awesome Lufthansa. Unfortunately, the livery kind of is all messed up over here, but it's still awesome because it's an A350. Yeah, welcome GTA and Monitor Unicom. Thanks for following and welcome to the stream. We're going to be underway very shortly. Tildsy, around what you've got to say on Vatsim, I think the main thing is just like watch some YouTube, watch some streamers on Vatsim with coverage. Obviously, this is not the best example of Vatsim because not a whole lot of stuff going on right now. No controller or anything. We're just announcing on Unicom. So, but watch some good examples and then just give it a shot. That's what I think. The only thing I can say is maybe like the first couple of times, just write yourself on a little notepad like this one. Just tiny little notepad. Just write yourself like what you want to say or what you're expecting.
Traffic Lufthansa 1, runway kilo departing on 18.
Are you stuck, Gail? So we're a little bit congested here. Let's take our drone out and see what's going on. Cross runway takeoff, is there? Oh yeah. Ah, the Delta's waiting for someone here. Yeah. But you're quite right, the Delta isn't fully vacated. Close, but not fully. It's that bloody Ryanair who disappeared and reappeared. Matt. Crash. No crash yet, fortunately.
Ryanair 5 Victor Zulu's crossing runway 25 centre from Mike 24.
Here we go. So,
Frankfurt traffic Lufthansa 630 heavy taxi, November 5 November to holding point runway 18.
18. Yeah, the Delta hasn't announced much. You know what? We should probably tell our passengers that we're a bit late. Oh, we can't tell them. Delay. That's what we want. Can you guys see that? Oh, it's kind of behind that other camera. I'm just going to tell them that we're a little bit late. For
Delta 60, confirm clear 25 left.
Traffic. Yeah, there we go. Took his time. He's taxiing now, Gail, but he's not announcing anything, unfortunately. I kind of want to get back to my plane before these guys take off over here. You're pretty good, Gail. But I know you're a stickler for the rules, so...
Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 1037, departing runway 25 left via Boca 1 hotel departure, Frankfurt.
Oh, you got a different departure for me. Oh, I wonder if our flight plans align. Did you use SimBrief? I just ran SimBrief. Obaka for November. Oh, this livery is a bit weird too. That's better when I'm fully zoomed in. We better
Ryanair 5 Victor Zulu, where do you want to go? Don't turn right, I'm coming on November there.
Speedbird 2125 lining up, runway 23 left. So now we better wait for the A350 in front of us to depart. And then we're good to go. So we can turn strobes on, landing lights on. Oh man, look at that. I didn't really line up very well with the center line there, did I? Looks good. I feel like this livery is not as high def as what it could be, right? It's a bit blurry around some of here. Considering the awesomeness of this sim, the way it looks anyway. Okay, now we're going to put the auto brake to max. And I think it's time for us to get underway.
Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 1037, Airborne passing 3000.
Perfect. Frankfurt traffic. Speedbird 2125. Departing runway 23 left. Obaka for November departure. Frankfurt. So let's get underway and let's not overstress the aircraft immediately on departure. A bit different in the Boeing. You can basically floor the throttle up to toga. It automatically will re-rate the thrust because we set that in the FMS. V1 and rotate, pitching up to about 15 degrees, positive right, landing gear up. Trying to maintain that 15 degrees of pitch as we climb out of here. You can see that we've got a
Traffic Lufthansa 630 heavy, line up and take off.
Make a left-hand turn here.
Sierra departure.
Frankfurt traffic, Speedbird 2125, climbing through 3000 Frankfurt. Let's make that left-hand turn, swing it around to the left. Just fly it on manual for the time being. It will go to autopilot shortly. We can bring the flaps up now. There's no altitude restrictions on this SID, so basically we can just climb all the way out. We, because we don't have any auto throttle on at the moment, which we do probably want to arm now. We're slightly over speeding, but that's all right. Look at that. Looks good. Now we make a right. And continuing this climb. We're at 7,000 now. Rain, flight level 100. Thank you. I can see the clouds. Let's get rid of that. We're roughly on course, which is good. Level out again until we get to this waypoint over here. Yeah, through some clouds here at about 9,500 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000
Okay,
feet.
we're at
You may now
10,000
turn
now.
on your larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatory.
I'm going to fly this turn
aircraft is
manually
equipped with
because why
onboard
not?
Wi-Fi.
And then
If
once
you wish
we
to connect
are
to the
around this
Wi-Fi,
turn,
you'll be required to pay a small fee. We do offer
I'm going
complimentary
to
in-flight TV
flick on
thanks
the
to our partners.
autopilot.
Connect to the Wi-Fi to find out more information.
Try not to. Yeah, cool. Looks great. It's a pretty plane, you've got to say that. Slightly over banked that. Not a problem. Let's just straighten this up. I was too busy looking at the beautiful views. If we just get our heading aligned to this purple line a bit better, like that. And once the autopilot's on, I'll turn the seatbelts off as well. We can speed up now that we're over 10,000. Let's punch it. That's all we need to do, basically. Just scroll that up. We're still climbing quite a rate, so we won't speed up too quickly. And I don't really want to turn the autopilot on right now because just trimming. Because what's going to happen with us being this far away from the purple line is it'll go a bit haywire. We can disarm the speed brakes and turn off our taxi and landing lights though. Yeah, what should we be squawking, I wonder? Probably should be squawking 2000, right? How to monitor the trim. It's here. That is stabilizer trim. This one. Whoa. So just monitor where this is within the down, up. Now, once you got the autopilot on, you don't really need to do any trimming. So we're going to press the LNAV button. We got LNAV, we got speed. We just also want to get altitude. So we'll turn on flight level change and turn on autopilot, and we should be good to go. Hopefully this will get us now onto the purple line. It'll keep us climbing up to flight level 400. Switched itself over to vertical speed. I don't really want to climb that fast. It's better. So we won't ever get that speed otherwise. It's better. Yeah, so there's some stuff that you kind of need to do a bit more manually than what you would do in the real plane, especially with controlling the autopilot, because it has a tendency to, you know, like just then I had it on flight level change. It didn't like being on flight level change. It turned itself to vertical speed. -2 points for overshooting the bank turn. Yeah, I know. I was too busy looking at the outside and enjoying the views is the problem. So we're going to have a Mach 7.2. We can probably bring that up a bit. Maybe Mach 7.4 for our climb speed. Mach 7.5 even? For our climb speed. And we'll see how the flight goes. Like I've said a few times in the stream, the default aircraft here, a little bit unreliable, a little bit like you need to keep your eye on them, definitely. And even though with this mod it's not to the level of the A32NX yet, so you do need to keep your eye on this. Is Vatsim essentially its own server? So sort of. What Vatsim does is allow your sim to connect to a server which has the position, altitude, speed, etc. of all the other aircraft on Vatsim, and it then injects those aircraft into your sim. What it doesn't do is remove the other aircraft from Microsoft Flight Sim. So if you leave your sim on multiplayer and have it on Vatsim, then you can actually have both going at the same time. That's very fucking confusing because you then have, you know, people doing Vatsim stuff and trying to have an element of realism, and you have multiplayer people on Microsoft Flight Sim, and like we all know, the level of realism there is very low. So what I usually do is turn off multiplayer on Microsoft Flight Sim and just have Vatsim connected, and then that works quite well. Like you. There's a lot of fun to that, but doing the two things at the same time, not fun. You don't get the realism, and you don't get to do barrel rolls. Made me laugh, Tiltley. Hey, did I didn't ever tell them the seatbelt sign's off. Oops. I did it in here though, yeah?
Has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can have it up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when needed in case of unexpected turbulence.
Alright, we are up in the air. Let's turn the music up a little bit. Cool. So what I was going to do now that we're flying is just take a look at some of the stuff that they've injected into this aircraft. James Martin, hi, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's happened to me on more than one time because I've forgotten to turn off the... You know what? We need to be on standard. Because I've forgotten to turn off the multiplayer on Microsoft Flight Sim. So the main things that they've added to this sim, sorry, to this aircraft, are basically the systems page here. So we can click systems up here, and then we can see quick stats view. We can see the, no, we can't see the hydraulics.
Cologne traffic, line up runway 3 to right.
We can see the hydraulics. That's good. We can see the fuel. Cabin air. Although it's in Fahrenheit, which is kind of annoying. And I don't think there's a way to change that. The doors, etc. Gear is there. Flight controls is there. And then the last three are in-op. The CDU is in-op. The info is in-op. Comms is in-op. Navigation display is op. We can turn engine display on and off. We can switch the ICAS to over here. The co-pilot's MFD.
Cologne traffic departure via Podip 8 Bravo departure.
Okay, we must be over Cologne airspace now.
Lufthansa 271.
On our radar, we can turn on weather, we can turn on traffic, and we can turn on terrain. We'll have it on weather for now, just because that's what I'm used to for the Airbus. Down here, not a whole lot to do. We'll just have it on radio page, but we're staying on Unicom for now. Up here, we'll just zoom out the range a little bit, see what this is like. Hey, look, see, this is the problem of having it on vertical speed rather than like an open climb mode. We've lost quite a lot of speed here. But we're nearly, I guess we're at Mach like 7.4 or something. Probably if we just reduce this climb rate a little bit, just for the last few thousand feet, we'll be fine. And once we get to our altitude, we'll punch the speed up a bit, because the 787 can cruise way faster than 0.75. And we need to gain some of that time that we lost on the ground while we were waiting for all those slow pokes on the ground to get out of our way. Not you, Gale, you weren't being slow, you were just waiting for the Delta and the Ryanair. Oh, I accidentally clicked something. I forgot these are touchscreens. In here, like, I'm led to believe they're working on some stuff in here too. With this mod. But, obviously the route is working. The init page is working. Fix page not working. RadNav is working. Legs page is working. Offset's not working. RTA is not working, hold's not working, departures arrivals is, alternate, no, VNav is working, progress page is working, FMC comms is working, and then the heavy menu is just a new menu that they've added for the, so it's like some stuff working, some stuff not working basically. It's kind of broadly at the same point that the A321X was at, very early on in its development, I would say, when they were still working on sort of getting the pages in the background up and running. Sorry about that. James, sometimes I have real rude pilots. Like one guy said, "Are you gonna turn me?" It's like, "I will turn you soon. We always make a plan so we know how to sequencing." Yeah, for sure. We're at our altitude. Let's just punch the speed up a bit. What do you reckon? Can we get up to 8.5? Surely we can in 787. Fast. I love it. Yeah, I think like most Vatsim controllers, you know, you kind of have to respect they've got a plan and that they're going to take you to where you want to go, whilst also taking everyone else to where they want to go without having any traffic incidents, and you kind of have to trust that as a pilot. There's good pilots and bad pilots. There's good controllers and bad controllers. That's kind of how the system works when everyone's just on there as a hobby rather than a job, and everyone is, I guess, continuously learning. Some people more than others, obviously. As long as you, I feel like as long as you respect everyone. Mach 8.8? Really? Oh, I mean, we could punch it even higher, right? I'm just used to, I'm used to the A320 where getting to decimal 8 is a bit of a struggle. Yeah, we got drinks and snacks on British Airways, Tilsley. For free. Let's see how we're going. Zoom. So here's the Vatsim map. Let's just refresh. Here's us. Oh. Gale, where did you go? You dropped off the map. I can't see you. Did you go a different direction. We've made good progress from Frankfurt. We're now, I guess, passing over Cologne. Gone past Cologne. We are going to be heading this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way to Dublin. Not sure if this guy at Dublin is going to be... oh, bad FPS. Okay. That sucks. Yeah, I mean, there's not much going on Vatsim anyway. Oh. Probably get rid of that. Kind of boring for you guys to see that map. Only good for me. I need to get some screenshots for the social medias, don't I? That's busy for Aussie airports. Yeah, I'd say there's more users in American Europe. The thing about American Europe as well is that the time zones overlap a bit better, so there's just generally more traffic around for a longer period of the day in America and Europe. Obviously in Australia we're like the exact opposite time zone, so when there's a lot of Aussies on, I suppose on the daytime and evening, especially on our weekend, then yeah, there's pretty good coverage usually around Sydney and Melbourne around that time. When there's events on, then there's great coverage. But I'd say the US has probably the most reliable coverage during US daytime. Clouds have gone kind of cotton woolly, haven't they? Like I guess if you look at this now, obviously zoom out, I guess just by looking at kind of the cloud of black, which is all the planes, Europe's busy. I guess very little bit around Australia, bit around Asia, not much really for the US, but it's obviously middle of the night there now, so you wouldn't expect it. If you manage to get on the US during their daytime on the weekend, then there's very good coverage and heaps of aircraft. Vatpack had the Anzac Parade last weekend, James. And yeah, it was heaps of traffic. The wing flex. Yeah, that's one thing they modeled really well, right? I need to try and get my satisfaction rating up a bit from the delays that we had on the ground. Need to get there nice and early to gain some time, and probably if I could give them some free snacks, then I'll do that too. More free snacks. Double snacks. Let's do a bit of a screenshot. Ka-ching. Screenshot. Boring. That music's better. post that in here. If you guys aren't on my Discord, you're missing out on all the screenshots I'm taking. I've also started posting on my Instagram too this week. Some real life flying photos from my real life, and also obviously some of my favorite sim snaps. This kind of looks like crap though, with all the stuff on it. I need to edit it. Does anyone else just use Microsoft Paint to edit stuff? Just me. I'm that uninitiated when it comes to video and photo editing. I just use Microsoft Paint. But it works. Nice. Real life, what's that? We should have our own cross the Pacific from Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane to... I missed that bit. Scrolling. To... what's PHNL? Is that Hawaii or somewhere? Honolulu, yeah, I thought so. To Honolulu, San Francisco, LAX. Yeah, that would be good. Mr. Pilot, good evening. Welcome. The only thing, Cross the Pacific's a bit longer than Cross the Pond, James. So I feel like that would be... that's a pretty mammoth task to ask like sim pilots to do, is cross the Pacific. That's a good 14-hour flight as opposed to Cross the Pond, which is like 7. It's my V pilot telling me that it can't model match all the stuff that we're flying over, because I haven't installed every single livery and aircraft that's ever invented. Bit. Maybe I should stop that. I wonder if you can turn that sound off. Yeah, Photoshop, it's just expensive, right? The Adobe like CC suite for all that fancy pants stuff. There's the free one, GIMP. I've used that before. Adobe's so overpriced. Yeah, right? It's like $40 a month or whatever. If you want to do it legally anyway. Mr. Pilot, tonight on the stream, we nearly had a sim crash. Oh, it felt like it anyway. Massive hang. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. Anyway, tonight on stream we are trying out this heavy division 7. Wait, what? Actually, I've got it in my Discord. It's called Heavy Division 787XH. And it's been a bit all over YouTube recently. Yeah, man, the sim is struggling right now. I wonder why. Maybe I should stay inside the cockpit. Computer's fine. So, what's his British AvGeek, which is a YouTuber.
Traffic, final 47 uniform turning base.
He's been doing a heap of videos on this, whether he's like paid or sponsored or whatever, I don't know. But it came to my attention by him, and basically I thought I'd give it a go. Due to that, so far it seems like fairly controllable. It's still lacking a lot of systems. Like, if you imagine Mr. P, it's kind of like the A32NX was sort of a month or two into its development. It's still kind of at that stage. If you guys want a free promo for British AvGeek, but basically this is the video I just shared. Kind of runs through the systems that have been installed and everything, like I did earlier on the stream. And there's a lot more planned to come, so you know, maybe it'll be good. The thing with these things is they really need to stick at it, right? Like the A32NX is good because they've been developing that since the very start of the sim. So the sim came out in sort of September last year, so we're now sort of, what, 7 months in, and there's multiple people working on the A32NX all the time to get it to where it's at right now. Now, with all the other mods that have been going on, it's been kind of one person developing for a little bit and then kind of giving up, and it's never really got to the stage where it's been fun to fly like the A320 is. But hopefully this one's different. Yeah, the Quality Wings 787 should be coming out, what,
Scope traffic AC 31,
in like July, I guess. I think they said good night. Cold in New Zealand. Good night, James. Thanks for stopping by. I wonder what happened to Gail. She dropped off Vatsim and she dropped off chat at the same time. I was loving that Lufthansa A350 as well. So we're now coming over the coast. Soon to be over the English Channel, and then England soon after. Oh, you're still here, good. Is your flight going okay? Just FPS problems. I actually had some weird FPS issues as well. Maybe flying over. What is a VZ?
Amsterdam traffic, final 47 uniform in final 106.
What is a VZOA exam, if you don't mind me asking? Is that a Vatsim thing? Vague eluded. Is it VZOA? Which region is Zulu Oscar Alpha? Yeah, it makes a nice change to be cruising at Mach .88 though. In the 320, we're stuck at like .8 on a good day. What's our ground speed? 500. Nice. It's a shame about these cotton wool clouds. We're not going to get to see much of the UK as we head over here. Hey, Mr. P, thanks so much for subscribing.
Two, one, boost ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station paving.
I need more subs so I can get unlock some emote slots. That's my main aim, is to just get some hilarious emotes. No, you're alright. Thanks, Mr. P. So, hey, Tildesley, thank you so much for subscribing, and with your Prime as well.
2, 1, boost ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions.
I know you only get 1 Prime a month, so thank you very much for using that here on the Amplify Oz channel. We are where I need to see our, can we, if we do V, yeah, because I didn't do the flight planning via Microsoft Flight Sim, we can't really see where we're going. Or, oh, we can, it loaded it in. Oh, I didn't know it did that. Okay, that's good. We can see now roughly where we are on our flight. So we're going over here. Then we're going straight across England, around top of Anglesey and south of Isle of Man, and straight into Dublin. About an hour and 10 minutes to go. What's all those things? What things? You mean the waypoints? You mean these? Or do you mean the boxes? So the little triangles are the waypoints along the way. So yeah, basically how anyone, your flight path never has those. Oh really? Do you do your flight planning through SimBrief or your flight planning through Microsoft Flight Sim? Because this flight plan is done through SimBrief and then injected into the aircraft. Yeah, okay, that's probably why. So, how aircraft fly actually, like outside of the sim, and so closer to this, is basically you fly here, so Ravlo, and then this is an airway. So there's an airway that goes across central England over to Penile, and I just wanted to say Penile, and how that would be written in your, whoa, now all the airports have shown up. How that would be written in your flight plan is Ravlo, airway number, Penile, but how it shows up in the sim is all of the waypoints along the flight plan. Yeah. Sucks to be me. So let me just see how that translates. Oh, I actually got it wrong. Oh no, I didn't. I'll bring the SimBrief over. So if you see, we are, Ravlo is the waypoint where we're turning. So this one. And then I was right. So basically there's a Yankee 70 airway that takes us kind of somewhere over here to Otbed, and then the Lima 60 airway to Penile. So those are the two airways that take us across central England. And on SimBrief you can see how it looks, and it's very similar to how it looks in Microsoft Flight Sim. Except on SimBrief we've got the arrival star as well, which I haven't entered yet into the aircraft. We'll do it when we get more over here. We don't have any... we do have a center on. Hopefully we don't get... We might get pinged by center. Not sure. No, no centers. I'm just hoping that Dublin stays online. making our turn now, so we're going to make a left turn and head over northern England. Okay, so what is SimBrief? Yeah, so that was the website that I just pulled up. It's just simbrief.com. You set up an account and it's free, and it generates flight plans for you, which are, you know, way more realistic than the flight plans that are generated in Microsoft Flight Sim.
55 through flight 230 for flight 160.
So, kind of looks like the 787 could actually crank up way faster than decimal 88. Hey, how you get it to show on the sim? So you can either, that text string that I had, I got rid of it now. My flight plan. So this text string, you can actually copy and paste that into the sim now on the flight planning page, and it'll do it for you. On this plane and the A32NX, there's a way to import your SimBrief flight plan with just one click. So you just have to have your SimBrief details in there, username and user ID, pretend you didn't see that, and then on the route page you can request your route, and then it downloads it from SimBrief and injects it straight into the sim without you having to do anything else at all. And the A32NX from Fly-by-Wire has a similar methodology as well. People are too smart. Yeah, they are. Okay guys, I'm just gonna find a good view as we come over England. I'm just gonna refill my drink. I am on a gin and tonic tonight, and I'll be back very, very shortly with some more alcohol. I'm back. So I was just thinking, like, I would love the Quality Wings 787 to come out, because I'm sure that will have way more functionality than this one, and also should be the 787-900, I believe, model, which will be more usable, I guess, more true to life. So I would love that to come out. I'm not at all averse to paying for great payware aircraft. Hopefully, you know, it's a similar level of quality and systems and etc. to the CRJ 700-550 that we've got from Aerosoft. That would be a really good level to aim for. And a similar price point would be fine with me as well. I've heard lots of things about lots of aircraft for this sim, but very few of them have eventuated, right? We really don't have a lot of options just yet. But hopefully soon we will have some options. Surely, like by the end of the year, end of 2021, I mean, we will have a decent number of aircraft to choose from. Not that I dislike, by the way, the ones that we've got. Like the CRJ is awesome, the A32NX is awesome. Flying GA can be super fun, which we'll probably do on Sunday. GA VFR in this sim, like, is kind of what it's made for. It's really good fun. But then I do like flying airliners, and we're a bit restricted at the moment. As I've shown you, even though this is modded, the actual sort of things that you can click, like we can't align the IRS, we can't change those, we can't do anything with emergency lighting, we can't do anything there, we can't do anything with the fire testing. All we can do with the engines is start them. Cargo temp, we can't do anything. Air conditioning, we can't change temps, we can't put packs on or off. So yeah, hydraulics, can't do anything there. Basically can just do lights, wipers, engine start, anti-ice. That's it up there. Down here, nothing, nothing, nothing. Oh, there's some stuff here. So we can do some radio stuff, which is good because we need that for Vatsim. Trim, door access. That's it. Yeah, it's pretty lacking. Even though it's got this mod installed. Like without the mod, it's got even less stuff. Excited for the ATR 72600. Really? Who is making that? And where is that coming from? Is that a freeware one, or is that going to be payware? There's a freeware one, right? But is it like good, or is it kind of garbage? A lot of the freeware aircraft that I've tried from, like, what's it called? MSFS add-ons. They're pretty poor. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh, coming to MSFS in this one. There is a freeware, which isn't that good. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, but this payware one seems like it could be good. So, coming to MSFS in 2022, ATR 42 and 72600. Working with Aerosoft. Ah, so it's another Aerosoft. That'll be fun then. It will be payware if it's Aerosoft. Yeah, that'll be good for flying in Australia, because obviously Virgin and Rex use the ATR. We're now going straight across. We should probably do our descent calculations and arrival stuff. Although I don't have an ATIS for... I do have ATIS for EIDW. So ATIS for Dublin. This is Dublin Information Papa at time 11:30. Expect ILS approach, arrival, runway 10 right. Let's get my little notepad out. Used to fly on them a lot as a kid. Cool. So Information Papa. We're going to expect ILS for 10 right. Transition level is 6,000 feet. Wind 100 degrees 7 knots. Good visibility, showers, clouds, few, 1,800 feet, scattered 2,800 feet, temperature 9, dew point 2. Q and H is 1014. Cool. So we can do our arrival now. So from sim brief, we know what our arrival according to our flight plan is. We want the bags 1 Romeo arrival into 10 right. Departures and arrivals. Bags 1 Romeo. Next page. ILS 10 right. Execute. Okay, got our arrival in. Not sure if we can see it just yet. It's a bit far away. We'll have a look when we're a bit closer. Used to fly on them a lot as a kid. What airline was that, Tilsey? Virgin? Are you Australian? Virgin? These tunes have got a bit boring again. And we want to do our approach info. So we're going to go full flaps, which is Virgin from Brisbane. Cool. We're going to have our flaps 30. Oh, I think we do it this way, right? 30. There we go. Copied. Bloody Boeing. Grew up out west and went to school in southeast Queensland. Cool. I'm in Sydney. Not really anything else we need to do. We've got flaps in. That's set. It's a bit different to. Is there a next page? No. I'm used to having to do a hell of a lot more stuff. But we don't have to do any of this stuff now that we are in a 787. When in the A320, like, there's way more stuff you've got to do, right? That's all good. Nothing else to do there. Thrust. Nothing. Nah, nothing else we can really do. Grey. You mean the screens? I believe it's similar to IRL, yeah. Let's have a look. 787 1000 cockpit. Images. What do the screens look like? Yeah, here's one. It's a stock photo, but it doesn't matter. Oh. Another set of pictures. None of that's any good, is it? How do we... Points guy. All the points guy. It kind of is. I guess not quite, but... Oh, it's actually grayer. Like, it's blacker. In the sim, it's quite black, right? But it's grey in real life. Interesting. The HUD is real. nav is real. That looks quite close to what we see, right? Yeah, it's a lot grayer. I guess it's just more toned down on that FMC. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. 50 minutes to go. How's that working out for me time-wise? Okay, that's good. Time-wise, we're doing well. That's a great question, Tilsy. So in the real plane, you'd have VNav on. And you would have data on. And no. And that's pretty much it. And then you'd have in your route, no, in your legs, you'd be able to see. So next page, next page. So this one thinks Bagzo is the last time that we're at flight level 400. And then we'll start our descent. But I wouldn't trust Microsoft Flight Sim's descent planning. Like, the VNav is not implemented in Microsoft Flight Sim yet. You've got advisory VNav in the CRJ from working title, the mod there, and you got advisory VNav in the, not the CRJ, the CJ4 from working title, and the CRJ from Aerosoft. They have advisory VNav, but they don't have actual VNav. Fortunately, calculating when to start descent is actually basically just simple maths. So if you just Google like top of descent manual calculation, here we go. There's heaps of stuff here, right? Calculating top of descent from Flying Mag. And if you're a pilot, you're obviously taught this, right? A quick and easy way to figure out is to start with your altitude above field elevation, multiply that number by 3. That will give you the approximate distance in miles from the airport to start a 500 foot per minute descent in the typical light general aviation plane. Okay. You're going to want to descend faster. The same calculation, but descend faster in calculator can be found here. Maybe this will be the key. Okay. 40,000. End altitude. We need to know our end altitude, which brings me to arrival planning. So we want Bagzo 1 Romeo is our arrival. So Bagzo around here. The first restriction is 8,000, so that's the altitude we need to put into our calc. And altitude 8,000. Our speed in knots is 271. Actually, it probably want ground speed, so 499. Yeah. End speed 250. Wind, we don't know. Glide slope 3. Vertical speed 2,000 feet per minute. So top of descent is 126 nautical miles away. How other people have told me is basically 40,000 minus 8 gives you 32,000. 32 times 3 is 96. Add a little bit, so 100, and you'd be alright at 100. But we're going pretty fast and we want to slow down as well, so probably 126 is a good guess. And before anyone asks, there's the thing, and I'm adding a bookmark. Where do I find the maps? So you need Navigraph. Well, you don't need Navigraph. Navigraph is the maps. Hey, we're in range of Penile. Navigraph is the maps app that I use. It is you have to pay subscription. It's like I don't know, it's not much, it's like $6 or $7 a month, or cheaper if you pay an annual subscription. There's another there's a free way of doing it though, called ChartFox. I recommend ChartFox to start out. So log in here, get your charts from here as a start. If you find that, like, you know, you use charts a lot when flying, like I do on stream, then I'd recommend Navigraph. It's makes things a lot better. And like when you're streaming as well, there's heaps of stuff going on. So obviously I'm flying a plane and I'm talking to you guys and I'm making sure that the stream still looks good, and I'm trying to make sure I don't trying to talk on Vatsim, etc, etc. So for me, anything that makes that easier is better. And paying like $6 a month for Navigraph definitely makes it easier. The cool thing now is you can see where we are. Like I got rid of that chart. I should have just done it this way all along, but I forgot that Navigraph has the high altitude charts as well. So yeah, we'll fly over here, we'll go do around to here, and we want to figure out which waypoint is 126 nautical miles from there.
Manchester traffic, November 129, Charlie Juliet, taking off runway 23, right, Manchester traffic.
Yeah, we're over Manchester, that's cool. So we want to find out which waypoint is 126 from one of these does it, right? Prague. Distance to go. 56. Dandy is 67. Can I go next page? I can't. To top of descent. Yeah, see, it doesn't show top of descent. Annoying.
Manchester traffic EG27 Victor Romeo on downwind 425 left Manchester traffic out.
Hey, how are we doing on fuel? Because I just kind of eyeballed the fuel when we... Total fuel. We've still got 17.9, whatever that is. Gallons. Oh, pounds times 1,000. 17,000 pounds. That's plenty. We're nearly on descent. Hate that song. Let's get some beautiful outside views before we finally start our descent down into Dublin. Is Dublin Tower? Ah, Dublin's gone. It's just my luck, right? Oh well. So no Vatsim today. Should have just had Microsoft Flight Sim multiplayer on. It's too unreliable this time in the week, right? Because it's really early, I guess, in Europe, so they're probably just going on for a bit before they go to work or whatever. Let's make a public address. Tell them that we are within sight of Ireland.
Look out of the window. We're currently actually flying over something pretty interesting this afternoon.
Before work, who has time for that? I don't know. I was just thinking, like, why would people just go on Vatsim for like 45 minutes in the morning?
7 November Tango line up runway 23 right.
See you there.
Rouge Night 2015. Hello, how are you doing, Rouge? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. We are about, I reckon, 30-35 minutes away from landing in Dublin. What's this over here? Is this, I guess this is North Wales, right? Must be. Yeah, it is. I want to figure out these waypoints a little bit, just so that we know. How far we've got to go. Because we're going to have to start descent pretty soon. And this is not helping really very much at all. We can probably work it out. So the first one where we need to be at 8,000 is one of these, right? Is it? Ekrin was 8,000, so that's 614, so we need to count 125 back from that, so we need 514, 480. Oh shoot, we need to start descending soon. Let's start our descent, shall we? I suppose that makes sense, 35 minutes before we arrive. Rouge, we are in the 787. The Dreamliner. This is the 787-1000 78X. We're also using a mod. It's the Heavy Division mod, which has been kind of all over the better plane. Tildesy's obviously a Boeing fan. So we're going to start slowing down a little bit so that we can plan for our descent. And then we can start descending. Yeah, we're using this Heavy Division mod, which has been kind of promoted on YouTube recently. Obviously, it's got to the point now where the developers feel like they can start pushing it out to content creators. So I saw it on YouTube, thought, hey, that's cool. I want to give the 787 a go. And here we are.
Manchester traffic, Qantas flight 793 is shortly joining right base, except in localised 2.
Hey, don't hear many Qantases up here in good old Blighty, do you? I wonder where he's come from. Dublin. Dublin to Manchester. That's not as exciting. I thought you might have flown all the way from Australia. Okay, we're at speed now. We need to descend to 8,000 is our constraint altitude. So we do that. We click altitude, and then we'll do it via, should we try VNav? And we'll click VNav and see what happens. Should work. Vaguely work. Oh man, we're plummeting. Yeah, we don't want to go down that quick. Let's switch it to V speed then. We'll go down at like 2,500 feet per minute. That's plenty. Yeah, that V speed reset our Mac to... that's a Jetstar descent. Yeah, exactly. It's a Jetstar descent with a bit of Ryanair mixed in for good luck. They actually do that to save money, did you know? Because you use less fuel when you're flying high, so they'll fly as high as they can for as long as possible. Oh, really? That's cool. Flight crew for Virgin. So we can pretty much hop outside and see what's going on. Hey, PC Aviation, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Let's see what welcome aboard message you get.
Take care your hand baggage does not block the
Oh, it's good old Gordon Ramsay. That's
put under the seat in front of you.
That's very topical, given that we're in a British Airways 787. That is from the video that they play on British Airways. They managed to grab as many British celebrities as they could before COVID and squeeze them into one video, doing cameos like that. Best choice of alert. There's a lot to choose from in that video, actually. Hang on. See if I could find it. Yeah. On the other hard drive. This one.
Okay, so you're here to audition for
So
British.
There's Gordon Ramsay. There's Ian McKellen. Who's that guy? I don't know that guy. Russell something? I'm going to show up how few celebs I know. Anyway, all these peeps are in the British Airways video.
British Airways, Comic Relief and Flying Start.
Thank you for your attention and your kind donations.
Every
Thank
penny
you.
of which will help children all over the world.
Living really tough lives.
If you have any questions or you can't find your safety card
or Flying Start envelope,
please ask one of your gorgeous cabin crew members. Have an enjoyable flight.
Have an enjoyable flight. How's the flight so far? It's gone pretty well. It's pretty smooth. The only issue I had was my manual flying. My manual flying as we departed from Frankfurt. But the 787's performing pretty decently at the moment and hasn't kind of thrown up too many surprises for us, which is always nice. Be the SQ one. Oh, are you from Singapore? PC Aviation? Oh, it's a shame you didn't get the SQ one then. The mod's working pretty decently. It doesn't have a whole lot in it, if I'm honest.
Our descent shortly. We
So,
do our best to make sure we bring this thing.
like, we've got some extra systems in here. we got some extra systems. We got a few extra things here. We can download routes from SimBrief. You know, there's some stuff that's very useful. That announcement was a bit late. Yeah. Oops. There's stuff that's useful, and the flying and the autopilot so far has worked pretty smoothly, so that's always a good sign. But as things are, it's still lacking. Like, if you look up here, I can't click on anything up here. The only things I can do is turn the APU and the for some reason our APU gens are still on. I'm gonna leave them now, but I can do the electrical panel. I can do a little bit here. I can start the engines, and I can turn anti-ice and lights on, and that's literally it. So yeah, it's kind of the inability of skipping waypoints. Yeah, so the necessary ones. So that Boeing skipping waypoints thing, yeah, that's a problem, right? Because it doesn't have a direct button. I believe you can do legs. Like, you can copy this one up to the next one, right? To do a direct. 100%. Like, I completely agree with you, PC Aviation. When the Quality Wings ones come, then obviously I'll hop over to that just like everyone else will, and it'll be an awesome, well, fingers crossed anyway, it'll be an awesome experience. Obviously we don't have that yet. This one has got a bit of coverage on YouTube and social media recently, so I thought I'd do a stream. QW Quality Wings, they're a yeah, they're a aircraft developer, sim aircraft developer. I mean, I can try it for you. So if we want to skip Bagzo and go direct Ekron, can't we just go Ekron to there? Execute? Or has that fucked it up? Yeah, you're right. It completely fucks it up. Okay, point taken. Yeah, you can't. That's a pretty big failing for Vatsim then. If you can't do a direct. Like, the only way to do it in that case would be to fly it manually, right, on heading hold. Which is no fun at all. Yeah, it doesn't look it. Like, I just tried, and instead, what the heck's it done? Like, it just completely changed the routing. What did it do? Yeah, it just deleted my whole flight plan, more or less. No good at all. Fortunately, we're nearly there. Anyway, not a big deal. Yeah. I agree. Definitely agree. The A321X is by far the best mod that you can get. Oh, the CJ4, the working title one, is good. If I was on center, then I would have gone to heading mode and I would have maintained the heading. But there aren't any controllers. You're quite right. So, like, I think there is always a way around it by flying the plane more manually. However, that's not a very true to life way of flying, and so yeah, it kind of kills the point of Vatsim. So I get it, and I agree that flying the A320 is the best option with the A321X mod. We shouldn't forget the working title CJ4. because actually the systems in that are like probably the most developed of any system. You know, it's got advisory VNav, it's got integrated charts, it's got integrated checklists, it's got a completely reworked flight management system. You know, it's awesome. They've done so much work there. By the way, if PC Aviation, if you like the... I think I have. If you like the Singapore video, then I do have that as well. Sorry you didn't get that. It's chosen completely randomly by the algorithm. It's like one of 10 different options that you can get when you follow. Yeah, I'm an airliner guy too, which is why I don't really fly the CJ4 very much on stream, but it does have a lot of things. Okay, we're pretty much back on course now after that disastrous attempt to skip a waypoint. Obviously the Aerosoft CRJ as well, now it's payware, but you were mentioning the quality wing, so I assume you don't mind paying for a good aircraft when it comes along. Like the CRJ is very reliable, has a lot of stuff built in. Okay, we're hitting 10,000. Let's turn our... Hey. Oh. There we go. I think it was trying to do it at the same time as me. Anyway, seatbelt sign is on. Descending through 10,000.
Traffic kick Turkish 9 Delta on ILS 10 right.
Okay, we've got a little bit of traffic finally. Let's slow down a little bit. Don't crash. I won't crash. I've got a small amount of confidence in my flying ability that I won't actually crash. But we should probably slow down a little bit. And how we do that is a bit of speed brake. Have an amazing flight arrival into Dublin, I believe. Yeah, Dublin. You got to revise for a history exam. Oh, okay. Well, PC Aviation, I hope the history exam goes well. Make sure you study hard. But will it be butter? I don't know. I've never landed this plane. And I'll see you next time, PC Aviation. Hope you stop by again soon. Tilsy, I've literally never landed this plane before, so we shall see how the landing goes. See ya! We're on. Both cams are on. We're at 8,000, which is great. We're at the right speed, which is great. We're gonna grab this. So our next thing is 8,000 and 230 knots. So we'll just slow down a little bit. Maybe we should make a little announcement to Dublin traffic, should we? Let's get rid of that for the landing. Dublin traffic, Speedbird 2125, Bagzer 1 Romeo arrival. Expecting ILS runway 10 right. approximately 20 miles to run. Alright guys, we're doing really well. No disasters yet. Although we learned that going direct to a waypoint is not a thing in this aircraft just yet. What we can do is see how well it follows the flight plan route. So we want to go, how is my descent going? It's going well, Gale. I'm at 8,000. I've got the navigaph on the screen now, so I'm at 8,000. I'm inbound Asda. Asda is a supermarket in the UK, but not spelled like that, so it's kind of funny. I'm inbound Asda. I'm at 8,000. I'm at 230 knots, so it's all going well. And I overtook you. Yeah, I was absolutely pegging it. I was at like decimal 88, making the most of this 787's speediness. So make a right turn now to Akiva. It's actually not turning quite as right as I want it to turn, so we're going to go heading select mode for this arrival. And we're going to turn all the way to 334. Yeah, so that's not the quality wing. Now I think it's quality wings. It's not the quality wings. It's not the heavy divisions problem, that issue. The issue with arrivals on the default planes is very much part of Microsoft Flight Sim's failings. Are you flight level 400 as well, Gail? DM Fantasy, hi, welcome to the chat. You join us as we are arriving into Dublin in Ireland in this beautiful 787 Dreamliner using the new Heavy Division mod. So yeah, Microsoft Flight Sim always does that, where it just kind of routes you around with completely ignoring the star when on these default planes. So we're not going to do that. We're going to try and follow the star because we are on Vatsim. And you can't even see any of these waypoints, but here you can see what I'm trying to do. Is get us back onto the flight plan and then fly us around like this, and then I'll line us up with runway 10 right, 10 right. Uh, 230 knots, heading in the right direction. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It's max 230 knots, so I will start slowing down before we make our inbound turn, I think. Okay, now we want to turn to 272. Whoop. 272. How's your descent going, Gail? I didn't actually ask you the question. Oh, one thing we haven't done is set up our minimums, which we need to do. Minimums for a Cat 2 ILS are 344. You missed the start of it. Okay. I miraculously timed it pretty well. out of pure luck, really. Like, I tried to do a back calculation, but it's pretty tricky with without a progress page or anything. So 344 is our minimum, which we want to set up here. Where do I scroll it? It doesn't want me to scroll. Maybe I can't. Oh, here. Haha. Okay, minimum set. Transition is 6,000, flight level 6, so we're actually not at transition just yet. Now we turn 241. Again, it would be... Oh, just killed my bank angle. 241. You can see what I'm doing. I'm following this course around manually because the aircraft didn't want to do it. The flight planner didn't want to do it. FMS didn't want to do it. Our ILS is there though, if you can see. So that's good. And we're 24 miles out now. We've got one more turn coming up shortly to 209 degrees. Now, if you were doing this properly and you could press this button from heading select to track, then we would change to track when we're flying this, because heading basically just points your plane in the direction, but track actually makes sure that you're flying along the path. 209 is what we want. And when we're following a path like we are right now, we would definitely be wanting to be in track mode rather than heading mode. We slow down a bit. We're below our flap speed, first flap speed, so we'll come down a little bit of flaps. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. First bit of flaps is out. Let's we shouldn't need the speed brakes, so let's arm the speed brakes. Let's go auto brakes somewhere in the middle. Do a barrel roll. Tilty, I'm on Vatsim. I'm not going to do a barrel roll. Now we're turning inbound. We want 104 on the heading. And from here we can also descend to 4,000. Will it just do it? Sometimes it just does it, right? And other times it like, yeah, look, it's going down. Other times it needs you to select vertical speed. I'm also not a very proficient Boeing pilot, so some of these things are a bit like, not sure. All right, now we're turning inbound. And we're gonna start slowing down a bit more. 180 knots. There's the ILS coming up there. It's actually a little bit over to the right, so we kind of missed it a little bit, but not too bad. We'll just turn to the right a little bit and try and intercept that. We can get a little bit more flaps out. We've got 22 miles to go, so plenty of time to distance to go. And at Gannet here, we need to be at 3,000. So let's crank this down now to 3,000. We are getting there. We are definitely getting there. Can I do a little bit more flaps? Probably can, hey? Yeah, look, it's going pretty good. I'm happy. Flaps are out. Nice speed. Heading in the right direction. Glide slopes come in. We're still off to the left, kind of intentionally though, of the localizer. It's all good. Let's get some great outdoor views of this beautiful Dreamliner as we head into Dublin, shall we? And if you want to see Navigraph, like this is what I'm heading for. I'm now heading towards Gannet, and I need to be 3,000 at Gannet, and then I've got my glide slope and localizer to take me down to the runway. Some call it cheating, others call it being a good pilot. Alright, we're gonna turn some lights on now. There. All good up here, should be all good. Our expected arrival 8 minutes, that's working out pretty good actually. We should be landing roughly on time. Oh, a bit of cloud. Okay, I'm good with this. Let's get some more outdoor views. Don't need that. Do need this. Inbound to Dublin. I wonder if we can see the airport just yet. Should be somewhere over here. Not quite yet. Feels pretty slow when we're just coming in super casually like this, doesn't it? That's alright. Probably could have gone a bit faster on this final approach, but I'm a bit scared given that I'm new to this aircraft. It's fairly predictable apart from that, apart from the route planning, which is a Microsoft Flight Sim thing rather than an aircraft thing. Because all the default aircraft have a very similar issue. There we go, localizers coming in. We're at 3,000 at Gannet. I love it. I'm going to just start turning us now towards the airport. Manually turning us. Oh, look at that. I grabbed that localizer so nicely. And then the glide slope's perfect. Let's go to approach mode. And we're in. Little bit less music. We'll go full flaps now. And we'll slow down to our final approach speed. Dublin traffic, Speedbird 2125, established ILS runway 1010 right. Dublin. I think the runway is just behind this cloud out here. so we can't quite see it. But it's time for landing gear. And you know what? I also want desktop. I want to get this replay mode working as well, if we can. Let's check it. Oh, it's looking good. Can we see the runway yet? Oh yeah, it's here, right? Great. Okay, we can see the runway now. The replay mode is recording. Here we go, guys. Final approach. I'll call short final as well because it sounded like there's some dude taxiing out there. What that will hopefully mean is that he won't get onto the runway while we're there. Gail, I wonder how you're doing right now, because you should be on your star by now, right? On final? Really? You must be just behind me. Dublin, traffic speedbird 2125, short final, 10 right, Dublin. We've got some people on text as well. You right behind me, Gail? Oh, are you off Vatsim? Is that why? Alright, so... Ah, shoot, I haven't done Q&H. Is it too late? It is. Not too late. It's never too late. Something that you just do automatically in the McDo on the A320. So minimums here. We'll disconnect the autopilot now. We'll come in for this landing. We're so high, man. Why are we so high? That ILS brought us in so high. Throttle back now. We're gonna land very late. Hey, oh, that's pretty bad. 266. Yeah, so smooth-ish, but late. Not too bad though. I can cope with that. We need a taxi chart quickly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dublin.
Welcome to Dublin.
12:59 p.m. and it's currently about 8 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have been shifted during
I've got no idea where a British Airways would land, would park here in parking stands. Here we go. Terminal 1, Pier 1. Hey, that was pretty good. We did have replay mode on, so we'll rewatch the replay once we're parked at a gate. And we've got our passengers off. Dublin traffic speedbird 2125, clear of 10 right and taxiing to the gate. Let's put our flaps up, landing lights off, strobe lights off. Little bit of throttle. There's a 7-4 over here pushing, so that must be Shannon 747 push and start gate 405, I reckon. Yeah. Let's take one of these gates on Terminal 1, Pier 4. We're going to take probably 402. Let's put the APU on. It's kind of seems to be already on. I'm not really sure if that's very well modeled because I switched that off at the start of the flight. So the first gate is 404, 403. We're going to go 402. Taxi lights come off before we turn in to here. We did land 2.5 minutes early. That's good. Let's just turn here, here, here. Turn, 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 turn. Turn. It's such different taxiing characteristics to the A320. The A320 you can have no throttle on whatsoever and you can still just taxi real quick. There we go. So default scenery here in Dublin, not so great sadly, but it'll do, it's fine. We got parking brake on. Let's turn our first engine off. Let's get this jetway connected. Let's open up the cargo door as well. I'm going to turn on the external power, which means we can definitely turn off the second engine, and means we can turn the seatbelt signs off, and our passengers can begin their deboarding. Hooray! We'll stop the replay. We'll go back to default. What's the time? 10:54. Good timing. Gail, have you made it down? So while we're deboarding and waiting for PAC-X to... Actually, where is PAC-X? Where's the little doodah thingy? I'm looking over on the bottom of my other screen. I can't see very well. Deboarding only 78%. I think that's due to how late we were. We wait for everyone to deboard from our 787. And then we'll watch the replay. Thanks everyone for watching. It's been a fun stream. We're going to watch the replay of this before we head off. So stick around for another couple of minutes. We just have to wait for the passengers to deboard. So I guess I should take this opportunity to do summary of how this plane performed. The Heavy Division 787HX. Yeah, so I guess what's in there is pretty good. The flight dynamics were good. It held the flight plan that I initially put in pretty well. No issues there. The FMS still suffers from the same issues that all the default planes in Microsoft Flight Sim suffer from, which is not really behaving like when you do it, when you make a change. Should be someone taking off from 10 right. Down here. When you make a change, yeah, things go a bit wrong. Doesn't like new waypoints, and so it doesn't like direct twos. It did work fine when we put the star in though, so that's one thing. I would say there's a lot of work for them to do. There's a lot of systems that need improving. The A32NX has had 7 months of development and it's still got work to do, so I wouldn't expect this one, which is like a month old, to be perfect. It's okay. And I had a fun flight, and you know what? It's great to be flying a wide body in Microsoft Flight Simulator and having fun doing it, because up until now, the flight dynamics of all of the wide bodies available have been pretty shocking. We're nearly deboarded, everyone, so that we can get going nice and quickly once we deboard. We're going to restart the engines already. Bit of a cheat, but that's fine. And once we are able to, we'll watch this replay. We'll try and get some beautiful views as well, shall we? So to get beautiful views in Microsoft Flight Sim, we change the cloud settings to scattered clouds, and then we either choose sunset or sunrise. What looks better? I think sunset, as always, looks better. Beautiful. And we put all of our lights on. Still deboarding, man. This guy's taking forever. Yeah, it's pretty normal. So yeah, nearly deboarded. Just got a few randoms. Don't know what these first class packs are doing. They're taking their time, aren't they? They're normally off first. IRL. Don't know whether that aircraft ever actually left from here. I think it did. We can go off Vatsim. Deboarding, still deboarding, come on. This is why I have it on instant. Okay, they're done. This last dude is going, this one's going, yes. Harry, come on Harry. It's going. Oh, he got lost. David, come on David. So slow. Okay. Okay, we're complete. Let's end the flight and see what they said. There was a medium departure delay due to traffic. Gale. Delta and Ryanair flights in front of us. And we'll be recommended at work, and friends will be told, and nothing better than a few mid-flight drinks. Well, I can agree with that. So thanks very much. passengers. Glad you enjoyed the flight. We'll close packs now. We'll close the cargo door and we'll disconnect the jetway. Just check that that door is closed. That door is closed. Check that the parking brakes are off. Check that the flaps are deployed. Watch those flaps go down. Nice. Okay, time for the replay. Time for the replay. Bang. Whoa, it's always a bit disorienting when we first jump there. That's okay. Let's see what this replay looks like. Oh, that's looking okay. I'm pretty happy with that so far. $300 to go. See how smooth this is. Now, the main failing here was that the default ILS, which is to do with the scenery and everything as well, put us down very late in the landing zone. Very late indeed. Which is not good. See, look, landing zone here, we're still at 50 feet. Oh, decent flare. Yeah, probably flared a little early. That's fine. Reverses out, and we slow down. Yeah, pretty good. The sim toolkit's still going. Thinks we landed at 279 that time. We can close sim toolkit. We stopped in plenty of time, but if we were a bit heavier, that would have been a problematic landing. Let's go back and resume, and then I just want to see what camera views we can get. You know, these. Oh, we don't have many. Oh, that's nice. It's nice enough, isn't it? But there's no inside views or anything by the looks of things. Wing flex. You gotta love the wing flex though. $20. Yeah. Float. Oh, it's good. It's center line. It's fine. It's fine. Well, I thought it was decent anyway. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of today's stream. Thank you so much everyone for watching and interacting. We're gonna wrap things up now. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I'll be back next on Sunday for another Microsoft Flight Sim stream. We'll be in Australia and or New Zealand. Kind of undecided. I guess we'll do some VFR flying on Microsoft Flight Sim multiplayer, which will be pretty fun. That's 2 o'clock Sydney time, East Coast time I should say, on Sunday. So thank you again, and I will see you all then. Bye bye.